Welcome to part 2 of the Yukkuris meme origins. We got a lot to talk about, so let's just start it. We know that they're just a head, or at least resembling a human head. But there's more to this. For some fucking reason. Let's review their physical characteristics. We already know they're a big ass head, but they also have the accessories that are based from their characters. Normal ones are about the size and weight of a basketball. However, they can grow to much larger sizes. There are also fat ones which look similar to normal ones but are slightly bigger and more bloated. If a Yukkuri is forced to eat too much food at once, it doesn't become a fat Yukkuri, but is instead stretched out and filled with so much food that bouncing can force bean paste out of its eyes or mouth. I don't know why it's bean paste that shoots out, but whatever. Too much food is not good for you, there you go. There seems to be no upper limit to a Yukkuri size. In theory, a Yukkuri can become any size as long as it eats enough. However, it's unlikely to happen naturally, as a significant size increase would likely cripple the Yukkuri or make it more noticeable to predators. There's predators for these heads? I mean, it actually sounds reasonable since there needs to be predator and prey for many things, but floating heads? They're filled with bean paste and therefore edible, which makes them a particular target of Yukko. Some variants have different fillings, for example, Rumelia types are meat buns. That's good for Yukko, I think. They have an outer layer of skin that's a bit less than an inch in thickness. That's not a good thing, is it? Science was never my strong suit. Their teeth, hair, and accessories are identical to their human counterparts, but somehow turn into bean paste when eaten. It's theorized that they're grown with dead cells, much like the dermal layer on human skin. I really didn't want to know that. I feel like that's a sentence I'm going to be saying quite often. Their accessories will stay attached to them unless taken by force. They breathe, eat, see, hear, and move by bouncing off the ground. Yet with the exception of their eyes, they have nothing resembling organs. No fucking shit. They're extremely fragile. Severely injuring them is very easy. They seem to make up for it by having lots of stamina. A Yukkuri can survive extreme amounts of trauma before dying. Examples include having a large piece of its body bitten off, having most of its bean paste scooped out, getting all of its skin peeled off, getting impaled on a stick, etc. I really didn't want an image of any of that. They don't have blood, instead they bleed watery bean paste. Despite having no circulatory system, a Yukkuri can get dizzy from being hung upside down. They're also known to urinate and defecate bean paste. I'm good, thanks! They're soluble in water, but only after prolonged exposure. All Yukkuri are aware of this and will avoid rain when possible. Now that's surprising. Of all the things mentioned here, Yukkuris are very elastic. However, stretching a Yukkuri beyond a limit will render it unable to return to its normal shape, and stretching it even more will break it. So don't do it! They have a crying moe, which causes people to abuse and bully them. Even good-natured humans can become sadists. This has a reverse effect on some humans. Sakya, Aaron, and Raymur are often portrayed as having a Yukkuri and caring for it, and little or no effect on yokai. In theory, this could be their natural self-defense, a psychic manipulation field that's meant to stop things from wanting to hurt them, since they lack any physical ability to fight or flee from predators. Only, of course, it doesn't work. What the fuck? Can we not abuse these head beings, please? Some of them have miniaturized bodies. It's unknown whether they're mutated Touhou characters or mutated Yukkuris. Examples include Rumelia types, Flandre types, Raisin types, Tei types, Eiki types, and possibly others that have yet to be discovered. Mutated types are usually born as regular Yukkuris and gain bodies after a certain amount of time. The exact amount of time is unknown. It varies from a few hours to days. Whether the growth is instantaneous or gradual, where they get the clothes are unknown. After getting bodies, mutated Yukkuri stop growing in size. So here's a picture of this. So, a midget yokai slash human then? I don't bloody know. Yukkuris are able to regenerate from almost any physical injury as long as they're alive, provided with food. Sugar is especially good, but they can still die. Mutant type Yukkuris have an upgraded healing factor. They're somehow able to regenerate without consuming additional mass, and do so in a much shorter time frame. Eating a Yukkuri whole is one way to counter their restorative abilities, and death is permanent. I gotta hand it to them. For just a head, they're pretty adorable, especially compared to humans. Despite their physical regenerative capabilities and short memory, it's possible to scar a Yukkuri emotionally, depending on the method used. A Yukkuri may become catatonic, insane, psychotic, murderous, and or dead. Yeah, don't be a fucking asshole, please. With the surprising amount of details regarding their physique, for just a fucking head, we're going to need to know how they act normally. A Yukkuri's main goal in life is to take it easy. It holds this above all other needs. It's easy to gain a Yukkuri's trust under the pretense of taking it easy. There are variants of take it easy. For example, Shen types say, get it? Sure. They may form families. These families may be made of 1 or 2 species of Yukkuris. Example, Reimu and Marissa types. And the oldest and therefore biggest one is the mother of the smallest ones, whether they really are its co-Yukkuris or not. Co-Yukkuri are their offsprings. They're in some cases really selfish. They can and will attack and eat each other in dangerous or stressful situations. Sounds like many species, so that's reasonable. The other needs and goals of a Yukkuri are, in order of descending importance, food, a home, companionship, and reproduction. Got it? They constantly demand food, particularly sweets from anybody and everybody. Particularly selfish or stupid wild ones will often try to annex human homes. They'll claim that the house belongs to them and that the humans should leave. This can be circumvented by asking permission from the Yukkuris to take it easy with them, and then the human can promptly eliminate the would-be invaders without suspicion. Look, I advocate for not abusing them, but if you try to take my home, all bets are fucking off. Leaving a Yukkuri in your house by itself will result in a messed up pots and pans and an empty pantry. They may also let other Yukkuris inside. Villages of dozens of Yukkuris are common. If they're left alone for too long, they'll die of loneliness. Predator-type Yukkuris such as Flandre and Rumelia types seem to lack this weakness. I heard that loneliness can kill rabbits, but correct me if I'm wrong. The Yukkuri social hierarchy is dependent on size. Bigger Yukkuris have more gravitas and are seen as mothers such matriarchs by other Yukkuris. The most important possession of any Yukkuri is their accessory. Losing it prevents them from taking it easy and leaves them in a near catatonic state. They'll go through any means to regain their accessory, not limited to stealing from other Yukkuris. Therefore, accessory-less Yukkuris are usually shunned by others. The act of stealing an accessory isn't looked down upon unless this accessory is stolen from a dead Yukkuri. Stealing from a dead Yukkuri is taboo and will result in the culprit being hunted down by its peers. Some types of Yukkuris have no accessories at all by default, Kaguya. It's unknown how these types fit in Yukkuri society. Well shit! They take the hat gear to a whole nother level. In most stories, intelligence and reasoning abilities are virtually non-existent. However, it's possible to train a Yukkuri, but the process is long, tedious, and slow. Yukkuris that are domesticated by humans tend to be much more intelligent than their wild kin. Some Yukkuris are even more idiotic than the others, namely Rumelia types. I was kinda expecting Chiruno to be mentioned, but hey, a win for Chiruno. Their memory capacities are incredibly small. A Yukkuri is incredibly forgetful. If you bully one, there's a good chance it'll forget about it within a few hours. There are examples where a single Yukkuri eats his family and or friends and then forgets about it. Okay, now that's going too far there. The limited memory does have the benefit of aiding their social structure. Groups of Yukkuris will think that they've been together forever since they can't remember anything before the group was formed. They have the ability to speak but are limited to childish phrases. Their vocabularies are surprisingly large and disproportionate to their intelligence. In addition to their catchphrases, Yukkuris will often yell out their state of mind. Their statements include refreshed, joy, and other random thoughts that reflect their moods. They'll also shout out rudimentary and nonsensical phrases such as, it feels like I'm running in the plains when they're engaged in an activity, running as the example. If a Yukkuri becomes hungry or horny, it'll eat/ravage other Yukkuris, promptly forget it did so and blame the nearest living being. Shaking a Yukkuri causes it to become horny. Alright, do not shake those little bastards. They all have an innate knowledge of several facts. For example, all Yukkuris fear the factory, which is described as a place where they can never take it easy. Well, that factory experience was certainly not a fun one. Old Yukkuris experience a change of personality. They become extremely sarcastic and frustrating to deal with. Upon being told that you will, an example of catch them, they'll answer, "Who says he's going to catch me? Oh, scary, scary." They retaliate against aggressors through tackling and goring. A common warning sign is a shout of "stop" or "get angry." However, due to their extremely low speed, soft bodies, and low mass. The attacks are nothing but nuisance. However, there are reports of Yukkuris injuring humans by biting. The best counter is to simply step on them. Some Yukkuris have different defense mechanisms. For example, each types are able to shoot lightning, making them a threat to Yukkuri and human alike. No matter what you are, if you can shoot lightning, you'll certainly be a threat. When angered, Yukkuris will inflate themselves, greatly increasing their volume. However, the defense mechanism is effectively useless. Crying, injured, or infant Yukkuris tend to slur their speech by adding whatever you see on the screen, Daikuten, to every hiragana character. Example, the Yukkuri phrase becomes whatever you're saying right now. I'm not gonna bother trying to say that fucking phrase. In English translation, it works pretty similar. The phrase, take it easy, becomes take it easy. That was not fun to say. Among the types, the Yukkuri can be divided into good and bad ones. For instance, a good Yukiremu is a very kind and good mother, while a bad one is lazy and selfish to the point of not caring about his young. A good Yukkurisa is honest and self-sacrificing, while a bad one is violent and will gladly betray its friend to save its life. A good Alice is haughty but kind and smart, while a bad one is a serial rapist. Let's hope they're all good ones, but that's highly unlikely. Yukkuris will refer to people they usually don't know as Mr. or Lady. This extends to just about everything, leading to phrases such as Mr. Butterfly or Mr. Flower. They sometimes talk in third person, examples, Remu's babies are moving, and they're going to stop here for now. There's much more we need to talk about, but for pumping this out in a weekly series, it needs to have a limit. The next meme origins videos will be the follow-up to this. I'm going to assume it'll be lengthy like this one, which is not fun for me. But either way, which facts about Yukkuris did you enjoy the most? Normally I will list a few things about it here, but there was a buttload of information dumped onto us that it's hard to pick a specific one. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe, or else they might come after me. I don't know how threatening it can be considering they're just ahead, but who knows. Either way, this is Magi, and thanks again for watching.